these are my notes for how I set this up. When you get it out of the box, you're going to get some quick setup options, quick installation guide. Refer to this first. Set it up with a LAN cable first. It's way easier. I couldn't connect in the beginning to Wi-Fi. So do LAN, you can connect to the Wi-Fi later. Pretty easily too. So first things first is you're going to take out your phone and scan, take out your phone, download the app, follow the on-screen instructions for the app. You're going to be scanning this QR code to sync basically your phone to that, so that you can use your phone as kind of like a monitor, viewfinder of setting it up for creating a password, an account, a name for it. So once you have that set up, the camera is live, and then you can use the camera on a Foscam account, which is a free account that you can go to, just like foscam.com. I got it in my history here. That's the little icon for Foscam cloud service. So this is the site, and I already have an account, and you can log in. Then once you log in, this login is attached to devices that you add. You can add as many cameras as you want. You can just keep adding devices. So I actually set this up on the app, and then it showed up when I logged into the web browser on my computer as the device already there. So it's super easy to set it up on the app with your login into your Foscam account on your app on your phone, scan the code, it'll just show up on the devices in the web browser. In the web browser, you just have one login account, and that account is associated to all of the devices that you have on that account. So on the web browser, it's kind of minimal for recording services. It's not really for that. It's more for, I want to look at the camera right now. So let me see if I can get both of these in here. Basically, when you're in this view, let me just go ahead and mute that and change the volume. Yeah, so these are your features. I think that's record. Okay, stop the video feed. That's what that is. This is take a picture. This is record a video. This is mute yourself. It's default muted, so you can communicate via the speaker on the Foscam. So basically I'm going to unclick that, and you can hear that my voice is coming out of it from the microphone on my computer. And then you can change the volume of the speaker on the Foscam. That will change the quality. I don't know why you would need to do that unless you're recording. This is kind of neat. It'll go into night mode. Is that night mode? No, is that night mode? No, that's not night mode. Okay, that icon is just how you rotate things. So with this icon, you can use the motor on the camera and basically look up, look down, look left, look right. So it'll rotate. It's pretty cool. It allows you to see everything around you for the camera. What's this one? That's just how you change you can flip the video. That's for folders for saving. Oh, sorry, this is to flip video. See, you can flip it like that. That's if you, because depending on how you mount the camera, because I can take the camera, and I can do that, and it'll be upside down. So with this, I can flip it the right way and flip it correct for upside down. So that's a pretty cool feature. Also in this, you can throw the IR LED lights on, so you can just go into night mode. What this does is it sends infrared light, and even in the dark, it will show what's going on. So it makes it a pretty cool security feature. I'll just shut that off. And then in the web browser, you can go full screen. That's pretty much it for the web browser. Hit escape. So when you start the recording feature, you have to install two things. The equipment search tool makes it so that you can find the names of the Foscams, but the Foscam client is the core software for managing all of the recording features. I like it. It's not super intuitive, but it has a lot of features. So when you install it, it has this default login, and the login is admin. The password is actually nothing or whatever. So when you get into the program, this main window doesn't have anything on it because you have to configure your Foscams. So the way you do that is go to the settings, then you're going to create an area, add an area, I added OK, then you add a camera, and this can be a little tricky depending on how you have it set up for the network. So if you're on Wi-Fi, you can actually use, let me minimize that, the search tool, and you can only do that once you've connected it to Wi-Fi. And I found that the easiest way to connect to Wi-Fi is by doing the WPS button. Actually, not the easiest. The only way I found to connect to Wi-Fi, since it wouldn't work on the app, is you hold the WPS button, and that kind of syncs it to a local router that you have. So this will make it very hard, or almost impossible, if you don't have a WPS button on your router or modem. I don't think you'll be able to connect to Wi-Fi easily, because I couldn't connect via the app. It just straight up wouldn't work. So hit the WPS button, then go to router and hit the WPS button on the back of your router. Every router is going to be a little different, so if you don't have the button, you're kind of screwed on your router. Then the way that the lights work are, it said super fast blinking, it said it over here, I think. Network lights, off, no Wi-Fi, super fast blinking, easy link is taking an effect, moderate blinking, it's connecting, and if it's a slow blink every second, Wi-Fi is connecting, and you are good. So once I noticed it had that 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi slow blink, I was golden. I had Wi-Fi, but then when I used the Wi-Fi, it was super choppy, and honestly, it looked like it was like a frame a second, and just wicked bad. So I didn't even have to disable it. I just plugged in a LAN cable, and it automatically took over for LAN. I didn't have to configure LAN. It just worked. Then I noticed that the video was way smoother. Not choppy at all. And once I have the network set up, I can go back to the Foscam client, and when I'm at this window for the network settings, and I have LAN open, or I have WPS connected, you can just do search camera, and when you do that, in the big window, it shows this. So you would click add camera, and this got me hung up for a bit. So camera manage, it will allow you to add it, but it won't tell you if it was successful. So I'm gonna tell you how you know it's successful. If you do it on LAN, you are gonna have one less option to put in, which is good. On the Wi-Fi, what the hell did I had to know the UID, and I don't think it automatically found that. I had to copy and paste it from the search tool. So when you have it on LAN and you do search cameras, it will have the user ID put in, the camera name found, and the area will be the default for what you're working with. Typically, you're only working with one area. Type, just do ZYH.264. It's way better for storage capacity. That's your codec they're using for your video footage. Basically, the compression level and the quality. So the user and the password has to be the user and the password that you set up when you set up your app. So that's not the same thing as your Foscam account ID or the default login for this program, for the camera client program that we're in right now. So this is the separate password that you put in on setup. Very important, because I was just doing admin and password blank, leaving it the same as the Foscam camera client, and it just wasn't working. I would go back to the main viewfinder and I just couldn't get it working. So once I put in that actual password for that specific camera, I got it to work. Then when you go over here, you click your area, and then you click your camera. When you click it once, it'll just connect, and then you have this video. And it's pretty neat because once you have multiple cameras, you can just organize them. You can just click and drag to that window. You can have a bunch. They even have a grid down here where you can change your grid layout for a whole bunch of different cameras. You can have a ton of cameras. I mean, this is 16 cameras. This is 25, 36, 49, 64 cameras. I like this one because it enables you to to have a almost a full screen. And then that's just the full screen with the tiles. So you can have a ton of cameras. Just like the basic internet browser style, you have that camera control options. So when you go down here on the left, you can go ahead and hit position tracking. I'm pretty sure that's what it stands for. And make sure you have your camera selected. Hit position tracking. I don't know why it's not doing it. PT. Oh, okay. There, that's weird. Kind of have to select the one below it and then select the one above it. But anyway, yeah, you can do the same things on this as you can do in the web browser. It's just found in a little different spot within this software, but it all has the same features. Hi. And then same thing with the nightlight. Although this has it on auto, you can put it on automatic, which is actually way better. So if it's dark, if I cover the camera, you can just hear it switch, and then it'll go to that mode. Then when it's light outside, it'll switch back, and it will go automatically detecting the best video quality. You can already see it adjusting now. I would just keep it on auto. So the way that you actually use this software to record, which is the main point, is you go to settings, and then I couldn't find it, but these tabs, it's hard to see when you're all the way back. So you have to go to record and alarm, and the way that you optimize this is hit that. You have to double click your camera over here, and then you have to adjust your recording time. This is where the file saves to, and then there's even some extra options on a second part of this. I think it's under System. Yeah, so System has a ton of features in it for fine-tuning. So if you want to go to Video, Capture, Image Quality, that'll change your basic image quality. And then for recording, storage path, no, local alarm recording path settings, PT, startup options, firewall. Oh, startup options. Disable startup. Go to home position, yeah. Basically some of these, I forget where it is exactly, but it will have the way that you can customize your video quality with super, oh, and here we go. So encode parameter, whatever it's called, parameters. So here you can change your frames per second for specific FPS. You can pick all the way down to 1, go as high as 30, and literally any digit in between. You can also have the stream type, and that will affect your streaming resolution. If you're having network problems, you can basically just optimize that. Then you can have your actual resolution. There's only 3 options. It's 360p or 720p. Then your bit rate. This is good. You can go as low as 20 kilobits a second, kilobytes probably, and as high as 2 megabytes. Well, 2 megabits. I don't really know what it is, but it just goes from, you have parameters of 1% to 100%. So this is 1/10, and this is 1/100th of a difference. So you have very customizable bit rate. So you can totally customize this for, you could put it at that, space-saving bit rate, and then you could put it at like a very low frame rate, and you could have some very long storage time on something like this because it's just not storing a lot of video. OSD, timestamps, capture. Yeah, I already did that. So this one's super, super useful. And then record and alarm. You basically just select these in 15-minute intervals, and you change the dates, and you customize each date. And that's pretty much it on how to do everything for having an on-demand camera that can move around, take pictures. I never really showed you how to take pictures on the website. But the cool thing is you can have your web stream and your recording software at the same time. So the blue dot means automatically recording. The green dot means that you're manually recording, and the way you do that is you go up here, click that, click these, and then it'll do whatever you tell it to do. I think I showed earlier where that's being saved. But while this is going on, you still have a web stream going, and you can do other things on this web stream. Obviously, the physical controls change both. You can't have one independent of each other, but you can change your stream that will affect your actual recording. So you can kind of view it at the same time while it's recording, which is super nice because it allows you to have a security system, your classic security system, with as many cameras as you want, with as many video feeds up as you want, that you can customize and move around and have it be recorded and have a large database of all this video and customize the way the video is recorded, and at the same time have this new web-based real-time streaming where you can just, it's like a nanny cam, you can see what's going on. You can have the speaker embedded into it so you can talk to people. Microphone as well, so they can talk back to you. They can't see you, but they can definitely talk to you. And then the whole movement controls, like, yeah, that's great. It's a really cool camera. It's a really useful software. It's perfect. Other than the fact that it's kind of got some weird software interface. It's not really that intuitive. You kind of got to mess with it to learn how it works. But man, it'll do everything you need it to do. It even has extra features I haven't even gone over. It supports wireless N. It has motion detection, which is super cool. I don't need it for my purposes, but you can have... basically, it'll detect motion, and you can customize things based on that. You can have it take a picture when you have motion. You can have it send notifications to your phone when it has motion. You can customize the sensitivity of the motion. You can customize the notifications. You can have it record only for the motion detection. What else? It has an SD card that you can have embedded right into it. So if you don't want to record on a computer, you can record up to 32 gigabytes on the SSD card. Actually, I think they have bigger ones, but it's a micro SSD card. It goes right in there. Very cool, because it would just be a standalone base station where it's recording stuff, and you'd have to pull the video files off of it later. But that is actually kind of neat, because with 32 gigs, if you just have like a couple frames a second, customize a bit rate, maybe even keep your 720 resolution, and you have 32 gigs, you could probably have some very decent length for record time. You might be able to stretch it out to a week, and you could just have it keep cycling through. I think you can have it keep cycling through. I don't see why it wouldn't automatically do that for the internal card. I think that's it. For features, but yeah, these things, they're like $70. You can basically have like a 5-camera security system for $350. And if you have a computer on, you'd have to have a computer on 24/7. So if you want to have like a little budget PC with a large hard drive attached to it, yeah, you could have a pretty cheap, very advanced, actually not advanced, just full featured with super awesome features, like extra features on top of a standard security system, for, I don't know, like you get a cheap laptop for $150. You get a whole system for $500 with 5 cameras. It's pretty cool. It's pretty neat. So, yeah, that's my little thought process on this stuff.